I'd say for the next 4 years, but even more, and my answer is will be mobility. We see it everywhere. People are complaining about traffic jam. People are upset with not being able to get in the bus in the morning. People are they're on the orange line and they have to see like trains passing by because it's just jam-packed, so it's overcrowded. So Montrealers definitely wants to have mobility options. That's something that is very important. The way that we want to address it is to see as a whole, because we all share the same grid. The first thing I want to do once elected is to bring 300 buses on the roads. In the past 4 years, there's been a lot of cuts, and unfortunately, the impact is on a lot on the people using buses. We want to put together an anti-traffic squad. Often we see that there's traffic jams because, well, there's two big reasons, but one of the reasons is that, for example, somebody is parked in a line where they shouldn't, and it has a huge impact. And often people will call the police, but they're busy elsewhere. So what we want to make sure is that we can respond quickly to that type of thing. Also, the other thing that is important is how do we make sure that we coordinate our construction sites well. Another thing that I hear so much is how many construction sites sometimes I've just left out for a few days. Nobody works on them, but it has a huge impact on traffic. Of course, we need to continue to do the infrastructure work that needs to be done. We need to go on with this. But there has to be more coordination. And again, how do we make sure that there's no construction site empty for a few days and weeks? Because to me that is major in terms of how it creates traffic, but it also creates frustration for Montrealers who wonder like what's going on. For us at Projet Montréal, we decided to take it one step further and to come up with the idea of to reimburse the welcome tax for couples that have one or more kids, and that would be up to $5,000 for the reimbursement. In the calculation and all the work we've been doing going into this promise is that it will support 5,000 families to stay on the island. Because our take is that when we lose family, not only do we lose population, but we also lose a lot of money. The solution to that, I would see it in two parts. The first one is how do we make sure that the people that works at the city, that there's more diversity in terms of background, in terms of languages. And so having more people, for example, having first or second language English or another language as well, would support once people come to the desk, for example, that we're able to help them in the language that they want. So that would be the first way. How do we make sure that we hire more people with different background and different languages within the city of Montreal? And the second part would be to make sure that within the boroughs, because it's very at the borough level that people connect and get the concrete services that they need. And this is where I'm really attached of not going with the centralization that my opponent has been putting forward, because we're cutting a lot in the frontline services. And to me, this is where there has to be more, we could be more flexible and put more resources in making sure that people get their service. That being said, and I want to be clear, I think that having a Francophone status in Montreal is an asset. Like, we're lucky. Almost like in North America, we're the only metropolis, only province that has this Francophone status. But I don't see the interest of Francophone going against the interest of Anglophone. I really want to build bridges. If we wanted to get big apartments or come up with housing options that make sense for families in Montreal, we had to negotiate, which is fine. But now we can negotiate, but also, force is a bit more like promoters to follow the needs that we have. So to me, it's about family housing, it's about social and affordable housing. So I see a big, big opportunity to make sure that we're able, as a metropolis, to fill the needs of all Montrealers. We have the chance here in Montreal to have this great diversity of economic, cultural, social background, like the mixity. So I want to keep that alive, and I think it's through housing that it will work out.